A hiker vanished in a forest that shouldn't exist on any map. His journal described trees that move when no one's watching. When a ranger reads his final entry, she realizes the forest isn't lost, it's waiting. His name was Eli Carter. He vanished in the Blackroot Wilderness, 3 days into what was supposed to be a solo trek. Search teams found his tent, his pack, his boots, and his journal. The entries were normal at first. Trail notes, weather, descriptions of the landscape. But somewhere around the second week, the tone changed. The handwriting grew jagged, the words more frantic. He wrote about the trees, how they seemed to move when he wasn't looking, how the same moss-covered boulder appeared in different places, how the trail he'd walked an hour ago led somewhere entirely new. The final entry was just one line, scrawled across the last page. It knows I'm here. The journal was logged as evidence and shelved until Ranger Maren Cole pulled it from the archive 6 months later. She read it in her cabin alone, under a single lamp. She told herself it was just ramblings, exhaustion, isolation, but something about that last line stayed with her. The certainty in it. So, she went looking. She followed his route. Day 1 was uneventful. Day 2, she noticed the first anomaly. A cairn she'd passed that morning was behind her now. She chalked it up to fatigue. Day 3, the trail looped. She ended up at her own campsite without retracing a single step. Then the landmarks began to vanish. A fallen pine she'd used as a marker was gone. A creek she'd crossed ran in the wrong direction, and the silence grew heavier. Not just the absence of sound, but a presence. A weight. She stopped trusting her compass. The needle spun, then settled, then pointed somewhere that made no sense. The trees ahead looked the same as the ones behind. The same twisted oak, the same hollow, the same shadow. That night, she heard something. Not a sound exactly. A whisper in the branches. A rustle with no wind. A feeling that something vast and patient was watching. She opened Ailey's journal again. His words echoed her thoughts. The paranoia wasn't madness. It was recognition. The forest wasn't just wild, it was aware. On the 4th day, she stopped trying to leave. The paths no longer led out. They led deeper, toward something at the heart of the old growth. The air grew thick with moss and memory. The trees here were ancient. Their roots gripped the earth like fingers. Their canopy blocked the sky. She found a clearing. In the center, a stone marker worn smooth. Carved into it, names. Dozens of them. Some recent, some centuries old. All of them hikers. All of them lost. She understood then. The forest didn't trap people. It chose them. It drew them in. Not to kill. To keep. To remember. To become part of its slow, endless memory. Her hand trembled as she pulled out her own knife. Not to carve her name. To adject. The last thing she saw was the canopy closing above her. The last thing she heard was the whisper. Not a sound, a welcome. The forest remembers, and now, so does she. They never found Ranger Maren Cole. They found her journal. The final entry reads, "I understand now. It doesn't trap, it chooses. The forest remembers, and it's still hungry." The forest remembers every step you never took. If this story stayed with you, subscribe and ring the bell. Some paths only reveal themselves to those who listen.